Hi, this is Numeric Citizen. In this video, I want to share my thoughts about the latest release of Craft where we got the highly expected YouTube integration. Is this a game changer? Let's find out. So we finally got some integration with YouTube where we can paste a link of a YouTube video inside a document, and then Craft will generate a wonderful, beautiful, useful visual bookmark in your document. And I think the question is this a game changer? Is this the wow moment where we've been waiting for in recent months? And to answer that question, we have to think about what it takes from a development perspective to work on this kind of feature. My expectation is to the effect that when you plan for adding this kind of integration within a document writing application like Craft, you have to plan for the future. And what it means is that today they are starting with YouTube because I think it was one of the most obvious use cases for integration. But you have to plan for the future, and eventually we're expecting that Craft will add things like Vimeo. They will probably add also Apple Music, Spotify, and other, and even GitHub. This is something that they already shared earlier this summer with an update about what's coming up in the pipeline. And if you want to do that in a sustainable way, you have to build or adjust or make changes to the back end of document structure. And I think it takes time, and this is maybe why Craft took a lot of time to add this simple integration within Craft. And in that respect, I think this is a game changer for Craft because I expect from now on to see more integration in very short term. And I think this is cool because it means that the use cases for Craft are increasing and more people are going to come inside the platform to write and create beautiful and useful documents. So let's see that in action. As you see, if you know me, with each release of Craft, I create a document analysis of the release, and I share my thoughts and comments about that release. And if I go in this document here, this is the latest update, as you can see on the web. I'll share the bookmark in the show note. This is so, and if I click on that, then I'll be able to see the actual how it looked initially when you are adding a bookmark. And as you can see, we are able to see the number of views and the number of likes that a video got. And there's a link also to the actual video on YouTube. But when I started working on the YouTube video, I went to the website and to my document within Craft. So if I go back in Craft here, and as you can see, this is my digital garden. And when I look at the document where I put all my links to my videos about Craft, I'll click on that section. You see that there is some rendering happening as I open the page. And what you see here is that we no longer see the views and the likes, but only the author of the or the name of the YouTube channel where the video comes from. So I was kind of in state of shock because I didn't know that. I thought it was, I saw the actual view numbers and the likes, and then I went back to my analysis, and I see that we can have those views. So I went on Slack and asked the team what was going on, and what they told me is that Craft and YouTube are kind of in the process of figuring out how many calls to the YouTube APIs Craft will need to get in their subscription, I guess, in order to be able to show those statistics in user documents. So this is not a permanent state. This is not a bug. This is something that is going on, and eventually it will come back. So what this tells me is Craft is clever enough to update dynamically the content of those cards depending of the external condition that are coming out from YouTube, and I think it is cool actually. But I would say that it means maybe some people don't want those views and likes to be shown and only get the name of the YouTube channel instead. So I would suggest that the Craft team to add an option in the card settings to show or hide those numbers. So this is not a bug. This is an ongoing process. I don't know when this is going to come back. I don't know also the frequency where the numbers are updated, because while I was writing this document, the numbers were pretty stagnant, but when I go on YouTube Studio, the numbers were higher. So it means that there is some lag between the actual numbers and what Craft is showing. I would expect this is because they want to reduce their API calls. And if you open a document like that, you might imagine that all those styles, all those cards will generate API calls to get new numbers updated. So how does it work? This is one of the format where you can control the size of the card of the embed. So this is this format here. I can reduce that to a more squarish tile. I can even reduce that and use the regular, and then I can also go and with the smaller. So I like this flexibility. I like it to be flexible, so I can decide how I will present the YouTube video depending of the context. I can change those formatting rules. It's pretty much in line with what we can do with images in general, but I like the way it is implemented. So for this video, I decided to just the latest video, I put it in a big card, and then the previous one, older ones, get the card format instead. So I really like how they did the implementation of this. As you can see, there's also a section regarding the microblog platform where I'm doing similar videos about how we can use microblog. And again, this is the same issue here. Eventually, it will come back. Regarding the views and likes, I can also do the same thing like we do on a card. So we can copy the link to the block and stuff like that. And I can turn that into a text link if I want. So this is something that we're used to in Craft. So again, this is cool. I can't wait to see how it will work with GitHub repository. I want to see what kind of value we will get from this cards from this embeds integration. So yeah, that's the integration of Craft with YouTube, and yes, I think it's a game changer. Other improvements that came with this release, which is version 2.5.14, is the fact that you can now get email as a notification when you leave a comment on a shared document from someone else. You can leave your email address, so you will get an email if the guy who got the comment respond to your own comment. So this is, I think, it's a good addition. And also, if you are on the Mac, as you probably know, when we display the sidebar here, we used to have this sidebar to kind of move on the right so that we can see the other team and space. and this has been removed, so it's no longer automatic. Then now it's a manual, or you have to actually click on that, which brings me to the question, maybe they are getting ready to finally introduce the table of content feature on the Mac version of Craft. So we'll see where it goes. The other thing that I forgot to mention in my previous video is the introduction with the summer update, where we got the announcement of an upcoming Craft affiliate program, which means that if you share a link and somebody subscribe to Craft with a paid subscription, you'll get some money back on each, I guess on a monthly basis, because you kind of refer this user and then you get some money back. So you might not be surprised that I actually submitted my name for the program. To be frank, I'm not sure if I'll make it inside the program, because I tend to be pretty critical about Craft, and maybe they don't actually want me to be part of this. But if eventually I make it to the affiliate program, what I find interesting is the fact that they are introducing specific resources for those part of this program, like best practices, tips, videos, and regular check-in with our team. So I'm curious to see how closer a member of this program will get to the team and compared to what we are currently having today. Does it mean that we could even get access to Craft Beta inside TestFlight? Does it mean that we can see more information in the roadmap? I don't know. So this is something that I'm really looking forward, and this is coming this fall. So I kind of forget to mention that, and I think it's important to share my thoughts on that. So that's it for this video about the latest release of Craft. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned a few things along the way. Don't be shy and ask questions, comments on this YouTube video down below. I'm also asking you to like this video if you liked it, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm not done with those videos. I have a lot of things planned for this YouTube channel, so subscribe to it so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Thanks for being there, and thanks for listening until the end, and see you guys for another one. Bye.